find the things that we need for our practice today. So grabbing our chair, grabbing our blocks, books, whatever you use for height, if you use anything for height, grabbing anything for softness if you need something for your when we do our forward folds, and grabbing a strap if you need that. We might, I don't think we're gonna use it at the end, but just having that around. And then finding ourselves in our chair, seated in our chair, sitting in the center of our chair, sitting ourselves up nice and tall, trying to keep our backs away from the back of the chair unless you're dealing with injury, sickness, autoimmune, anything like that. You can always scoot back against the chair. And then with any of this, if you need to take it down onto the floor and do it on the floor or up against the wall, any of this can be done that way. Or even without the chair. If you're like, it's harder, it's more cumbersome to do it with the chair today than not, then don't do it with the chair. All right, so sitting ourselves up nice and tall. All right, let's go ahead and roll our shoulders. Goodness gracious. All right, roll those shoulders out, rolling that back. Nice big shoulder rolls. Wow. And then let's go ahead and roll that forward. And rolling the shoulders the other way, just keep rolling them forward. And we'll roll them back in just a second. Good, and then let's go ahead and roll them back. And forward. I wonder what that means if I have compassion for earwigs, that I'm growing as a person. No, I just didn't want to kill it because it was really big. All right, let's sit ourselves up tall. Crunch our shoulders up to our ears and release that down. Oh, let's imagine that we've got about 10 to 15 pounds in those hands that you're holding onto that, so that when we do our crunch again and release that down, maybe you get a little bit more of a release. So let's go ahead and crunch that up again. So shrugging that up can be light as a feather here. And then we're gonna put weight into those hands and release that down. Oh. So now that our arms are released down by our side, let's go ahead and drop our chin to chest. Oh. And maybe you get that really wonderful stretch in the back of the neck. In those traps, those are your upper back muscles, those upper shoulder into the neck muscles, to the base of the skull. Good, let's lift that head to center, take our eyes to sky. I'm still keeping my arms super heavy by my side, so I can get that neck lengthening the whole time that we're doing this kind of nice little neck. Stretching right here. Drop that chin back to chest. And then let's take our eyes to sky again. Bring that head to neutral, still keeping our arms nice and heavy, right by our side. Let's look to the right. Think about that chin going over towards the right shoulder. And to the left. I don't know, yesterday I was noticing it too. The birds outside have been really, really loud, like louder than normal. So I'm wondering, I'm like, ooh, is spring gonna come early? Are they feeling warmth that I'm not feeling yet? We can only hope. Bring this back to center. Drop that chin to chest. And then lift our eyes to sky. Bring that head to neutral. Roll the shoulders back. And roll the shoulders forward. Good, shake those arms out. Let's inhale and sweep this up. Big sun breath. And exhale it out. Good, inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. And inhale and sweep this up. This time as we exhale, we're either going to hold on to the back of the chair, clasp our hands behind us, or hold on to the back of the seat of the chair. So way behind you. I'm just clasping today. Opening that up, let's look to the left. Or if your chest and shoulders are very tight, that is great use of the strap here. You can use a strap, you can use a towel, a washcloth, anything to give you a little extra length. Let's bring that head to center and then let's go ahead and look over to the right. That's the beauty of doing this at home. You can grab whatever you need around you and help your practice. It's not cheating, it's helping. It's allowing you to do this. Good, go ahead and release that. Oh, shake that out. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. And again, inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. Inhale and sweep this up. Let's drop that right hand to the right side of the seat of the chair. Let's lean it over. So leaning that, trying to lift ourselves up, kind of lift ourselves up a little bit, leaning over, leaning onto the right, lengthening with the left. And breathe it here. And you can look up at that hand, you can look down at your knees, over to the side, down to the floor, or you can just keep your head neutral and still. Good, let's inhale and sweep this up. And let's drop our left hand to the left side of the seat of the chair and reach this over. And you might find that one side, goodness, is tighter than the other. Super normal, that is everyday life. We use one side of our body more than the other. Or maybe you slept on one side more than the other last night, or just different things. Maybe you were driving a lot yesterday, so getting in and out of the car on that same side, that does it too. Maybe you did laundry, so just lifting, a lot of different things. Let's inhale and sweep this up, clasp our hands at the top, press our palms towards the ceiling. Lengthen up through our arms, lengthen up through our torso. Good, let's add in that sigh breath. Let's inhale it deeply here. And exhale, big sigh out. Definitely feel that in my rib cage. Inhale it deeply here. And exhale, big sigh out. We're gonna do 2 more of those. Whew. Inhale it deeply here. And exhale, big sigh out. Oh, yeah. And one more. Inhale deeply here. And exhale, big sigh out. Good. Arms out in front of us. Stop hands. Rotate wrists. Rotate the other way. Point the fingers down. Point the fingers up. Point the fingers down. Point the fingers up. Point those fingers down. Point those fingers up. So lifting this back up to the sky. This is almost like the roller coaster one where you like lengthen up through our fingertips, reach up through that. Now, think about light shooting through those fingertips. So that means that you're getting even more lengthening your arm. You're not just lifting, you are lengthening and reaching. Like somebody is going to lift you at your wrists. So we've got a nice long spine here as well. Let's walk our legs over to the right. Let's take those lengthened arms and place them on the back of the seat of the chair. And use that back of the chair as leverage for this spinal twist. Man, today, let's breathe it here. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. My body knows it's a Tuesday morning. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Wow. Good. Let's reach back up through that again. Shoot those rays of light up through your fingertips so that you are getting even longer arms than you could get just by reaching them up. So really reaching that, bring our legs back to center, and we're going to walk our legs now over to the left, still lengthen. Our really long lengthened arms are now going to turn and reach for the back of the top, or the top of the back of the seat of the chair. And twist that too. Use that as leverage to twist into that and breathe. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And again, big deep inhale. And exhale it out. Oh my goodness. Good. Lift that up, lengthen through those arms. Goodness. All right, now we can bring our hands back down. And let's bring our arms out to our peripheral. So they are in a wide V. They're not out back here in a T where we really can't see them anymore. They're out in a V. So let's take our palms up, make some fists, roll our knuckles in. Such a good forearm stretch. And then that exaggerated bicep curl. Maybe your thumbs can get to your shoulders. Maybe they don't. Maybe you just want to keep those fists. Or maybe you've got some tightness in your elbow joints and it doesn't do that. And that's okay. So listening to your body, remembering that this is your practice. Every day is different. Sitting ourselves up tall, we got a seated cat and cow. Let's go ahead and open this up, arching our back. And then round this elbows together. Inhale and open. And exhale and round. Really am needing this spinal stuff today. Inhale and open. Exhale and round. Inhale and open. Exhale and round. Inhale and open. And exhale and round. Good, let's bring this back to neutral. Nice neutral spine, nice lengthened spine. Open this up. Palms facing down. We're not putting our arms down yet. We're gonna do a little bit, this is a little Pilates move. We're just gonna do kind of like when you do the 100. It's a little wing move. Just right here, we're just going up and down. We're gonna add a circular motion to this. So just small circles moving forward, small circles. This is getting blood flow to those shoulders, to that back, to the neck, to that core. I'm feeling it out of my fingers. So that, yeah, like what's going on? All right, now circle it the other way and making our circles bigger as we're going the other way. Feeling. So if that's burning your shoulders, burning your arms, if you're like, I have to put it down, you can put it down. But we're just gonna do it a few more moments. Good. And now you can put it down. Oh, shake that out. Good. Roll that out. Very nice. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. Let's take that opposite arm to that opposite hand, and you can hold the back of the chair. Let's do a spinal twist, seated spinal twist. I know we did that, the bigger one. It's just a smaller one and a lower one for that low back. Let's breathe it here. And exhale it out. Bring it back to center. Let's cross to the other side and twist it here. Inhale it. And exhale it out. Wonderful. Bring ourselves back to center. Bring our arms up again, right over left. Let's give ourselves a big hug. Reaching our fingers back for our spine. It's a nice big hug. Maybe drop that chin to chest. And then maybe take eyes to sky. Open this up. And then cross that over. Drop that chin to chest. And then eyes to sky. And bring that back to center. Nice big hug. Good. Open that up and then release that down. All right, seated sun salutations. So if you're using blocks, grabbing those, putting them where you want them, or if you've got pillows, or if you've got stacks of books, or if you've got like push-up handles, you can use those as well. Sitting ourselves still up tall, we are at almost the front edge of our seat. Let's inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. And if you need that pillow between your belly and thighs, if your back is hurting or your hip flexors are very tight and this forward fold feels impossible, you can use a pillow there. That can be very helpful. Let's inhale, lengthen through our arms. So arms are either on the floor, on the shins, or on your blocks or books, whatever you're using for height. We're lengthening here and then releasing that into that forward fold. My goodness. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. We're going to hold this here. As we are holding our lengthened arms, you can exhale it. We're going to press our right hand into whatever you're using for height here, the floor, the shin, the block. And we're going to spinal twist it open. Open to the left. Maybe that left arm lifts up a lot. Maybe it lifts up a tiny bit. It's all depending on your flexibility and mobility today in that shoulder and in that back, in those lats, those big back muscles. Maybe you've got something going on to where you're like, shoulder is not opening today. And that is okay. Listening to your body. But we're not only opening the shoulder here. So if you're like, shoulder's not working, then go ahead and take it to your waist because we're opening our torso here. Super, super important that we're opening that center body up. Good, release that down and relax. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. We're gonna go other side. So you can exhale as we're here, and we're gonna go ahead and press our left hand into block, floor, shin, wherever your height is at. And this is the side I was dreading. Let's open this up. Open that up. That almost takes the breath away. If you're like that too, if you're like, or maybe it was the other side for you. If there's a move today that's like, it's taking my breath away, breathe deeper. Go deeper into that. That means that it's fighting against you and we need to smooth that out more. We need some more oxygen there. We need some more opening happening. That is a challenge to get that breath deep. Oh man, good. Release that. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Good. We're going to go that right hand into block again, and we're going to lift that left arm open. I'm like, oh, so much better than the other side. And breathe it here. Inhale and exhale. I try and like think of why, like on the other side, I'm like, why did I sleep really, really weird? It was like 100 pounds was laying on one of my sides and squishing it. That's what it feels like when I'm opening the other side. Breathe here and exhale it out. But I did have some really random dreams. So there may have been some fighting going on. Good, and release that and relax. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Oh, inhale and sweep those arms up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. And let's take it to the other side. Press our left hand in. Let's open this up. Oh, yeah. And there is a little bit more opening that second time we go through this. Let's breathe it here. And exhale it out. And a big deep inhale. And exhale it out. Good, release that, relax, very nice. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up, bring our hands to prayer. Exhale our hands to heart. Good, inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up, bring our hands to prayer. Exhale our hands to heart. We're gonna keep this here, hands are at our heart. Sit ourselves up tall again. So like we had when we were reaching our fingers with the light shooting out at it towards the ceiling, same thing. We're lengthening up through our spine, only this time our shoulders are down and back, hands to the heart, because we're gonna do a seated spinal twist. So that means we're gonna lead with that chest hinge and twist to the right. So let's inhale it deeply here or left. Let's inhale it. And exhale, hinge and twist. So that right elbow or right tricep is trying to get over to that left thigh. That is the goal. If it does not get there, that is okay. That's just the direction that we're going in. It can take a long time to get that mobility to be able to even get your elbow or your tricep to your thigh. So if that's not happening for you, no worries. It takes a while. And again, this is just the first time we're doing it. We're going to do it again 2 times on each side. So you will have a little bit more mobility the next time we do this. Let's breathe it here. Maybe you're able to look up at the sky. And exhale. Sometimes I'm like, who beats me at night? Bring this back to center. I know it's not Aaron because he's like dead asleep behind me. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Bring our hands to prayer. Exhale our hands to heart. Good. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So lengthen up through that spine. Inhale it deep. And exhale, hinge and twist. And twisting into that again, the goal is that left elbow to that right thigh. That's just your goal. If it's not getting there, that is okay. As long as you are able to get a little bit of a twist here. Your twist may be way up here. And again, that is okay. You listen to your body or your body is letting you go. And breathe. Like I said, if it's hard for you to breathe, that means that you need to be breathing deeper to help open that up and smooth that out. Good, bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Bring our hands to prayer. Exhale our hands to heart. And we're going to do that one more time on each side. Let's inhale it deep. And exhale. Hinge and twist over to the left. So you know that part in the original Star Wars episode 4, first one that ever came out, where who is it? It's Luke and he's scratching at R2 to get the message from Princess Leia out. He's scratching off the crud off of R2. That's what I feel like I'm doing today in my spine. I feel like I'm scratching off crud. So if there are joints for you today that you're like, I feel like I'm scratching, it just came to my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what that is. Because then once you get that off, it's smooth and everything comes together and there's a message. Maybe there's not a message, but everything feels better. Good. Bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep the arms up. Everything goes back to Star Wars. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Bring our hands to prayer. Exhale our hands to heart. We've got the other side. Here it is. Here's the really scratching part. Let's inhale it deeply. And exhale, let's hinge this and twist this and breathe. That deep breathing, when it's really uncomfortable or mildly painful, that's the scratching away. That's the moving of the gunk. Moving of the junk and gunk. Either psychological junk or physical junk. Breathe it. Good, bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale, release our arms to our sides. All right, legs. Let's go with legs. I can do the legs. Let's lengthen through this. You've got either single leg or double leg, so just depending on where you're at in your practice or where your body's at today. So we've got both those legs lifted or just that right leg. Let's lengthen up and find ourselves in our most difficult pose, our staff pose, because what is holding us here? Our core. Because we don't have our back against the chair, what's holding us here is our core and those legs, because my thighs are already burning. Let's breathe it here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And big deep inhale and exhale it out. We can release our arms down. You can hold onto that chair. You can have your hands on your thighs. You can even hug yourself right here if that feels best for you. Whatever works best, but you just want that really good posture. We're going to go hamstring curl, leg extension here. We want to keep our feet super flexed. So let's curl this in and extend. There's 8. Curl this in and extend. There's 7. Curl this in and extend. There's 6. Curl this in and extend. There's 5. Curl this in and extend. There's 4. Curl this in and extend. There's 3. Curl this in and extend. There's 2. Curl this in and extend. There's 1. Curl this in and we're going to hold our extension. Go and point those toes, flex those feet. Point those toes, flex those feet. point those toes, flex those feet, point those toes and flex those feet. Very nice. All right, we're gonna release our right leg. We're gonna, or left leg. We're gonna scoot ourselves forward so that we're kind of on the edge. We're gonna lengthen. This leg is still lifting. We're lengthening through our left leg. Let's take our right ankle to that left shin. Right heel or right ankle to that left shin. It's our lengthened piriformis stretch, our lengthened hip opener. First hip opener of the practice today. And what I was laughing at, because the message, you know, help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. Oh, how many times in yoga do I say help me, especially with the hip flexor stuff? All right, good. Okay, so let's go ahead and bend at the knee and let's take our right ankle, place it to our left thigh. You may not be able to do this in the chair. Take yourself to the floor, scoot yourself up against a wall, or you're just against the floor and you don't have anything up against your back. Again, that's extra core work, nothing up against your back, but you can do this on the floor if it is not working for you in the chair. Sitting ourselves up tall, not worry about that posture yet. Just find that hip stretch. So maybe you are minuscule going forward. I am like minutely able to go forward without losing my, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be in this bad posture, because then it doesn't even go into where it needs to go. It goes right into the shoulders. So we're trying to keep that posture pretty okay for right now. And then when we get to use the back of the chair, then we want that really, really nice posture. All right, so now we get to scoot to the back of the chair, or if you're on the floor, if you want to scoot up against a wall, you can do that. Sitting ourselves up tall. Super good posture here. Let's breathe and hinge. So let's inhale it deeply here. And exhale, hinges forward. Inhale. And exhale, hinge. Inhale it up. And exhale, hinge. And one more time. Inhale it up. And exhale, hinge. All right, we can release that. Let's take it into half shoelace. So again, either on the floor or up on the chair. Let's bring that heel to the corner of the chair, or if you don't have the chair, then you're just crossing that leg over the other leg. You maybe have your other leg lengthened on the floor. We've got this. Let's wrap that left arm around that right leg and twist right here. So maybe you're getting in the hip. My back still isn't quite open as it normally is. So I'm feeling it in multiple places today, not just in the hip. Most of the time the hip is enough, but I'm feeling it in the hip, in that glute, outer thigh, IT band. So this really strong ligament right here, and up in the lats and in my spine. Breathe it here, inhale, and exhale it out. Good, let's twist the other way. So look to the left. And breathe that here, inhale. And exhale it out. Woo. Very nice. Bring this back to center. Give that a big hug. Release that. Shake it out. Scoot ourselves forward, back into our staff pose. If you are doing single leg, then we are now on the left leg. If you're doing both legs, then we've got both legs lifted. Let's reach up through our arms. Find this nice, strong staff pose. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Big, deep inhale and exhale it out. Big, deep inhale and exhale it out. And release those arms, holding on where you feel best. And let's go ahead and bring the legs in and extend. There's 8. Keep our feet flexed. Curl this in and extend. There's 7. Curl this in and extend. There's 6. Curl this in and extend. There's 5. Curl this in and extend. There's 4. Curl this in and extend, there's 3. Curl this in and extend, there's 2. Curl this in. We're gonna hold this extension, hold this, go ahead and point those toes, flex those feet. 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 Point those toes and flex those feet. This is really hard. You guys are doing amazing. Releasing our right leg down, scoot ourselves forward. Our left leg is still lifted. Lengthen through our right leg, and let's take our left heel or ankle to our right shin. Lengthen hip flexor. First piriformis stretch. Oh, and hinge into that. This side is a lot nicer than that other side. For me, maybe it's different for you. But listening to that body, checking in with that body. This was so good about this practice. When do you have an hour where you spend time in interoception? That's what this is this movement, figuring out where am I feeling this at in my body, attaching that stuff back together. That's what this is so good. It's so good for this yoga is considered strength, so good for breathing, and it's so good for that mind-body connection, for bringing that back together. Good, let's go ahead and bend at that knee, ankle to thigh. Just kidding. I thought it was easier on this side. It's the same. Just finding that hip stretch, that figure 4, that piriformis stretch. And maybe for some, this is super easy and it feels super good. This is one of those ones where I get a little bit nauseous because I know this is one of my stress spots. This is where I hold tension in my hips, in my neck. Those are my 2 places. A lot of people hold it in low back, or hold it in glutes, or hold it in their head, top of their head, forehead. Just figuring out, that's what's helpful to know too, as we're doing our practice, is like, oh, that's why it's sore all the time, or that's why I'm in pain whenever I do this pose, because that's where I hold my tension. Good, all right, we're gonna add in that breath and that movement. So you're either, if you're on the floor, then you are up against the wall or not. Otherwise, in that chair, sitting ourselves up nice and tall. Got that really good posture. We're going to add in that breath. Let's inhale it deeply here. And exhale, hinge. And inhale it. And exhale, hinge. 2 more times. Inhale it up tall. And exhale, hinge. And inhale it up tall. And exhale, hinge. Maybe this hinge can get a little bit further. Don't hold your breath like I was just doing. Keep breathing. Good. Very nice. Let's release that. Let's go and take it to that half shoelace. Crossing that leg over. Let's wrap our right arm around that left leg. Hip flexor, glute, IT band, outer thigh, hamstring, lots of stuff going on here. And yeah, for this side, I'm feeling it where I normally feel it and not up in here, like on the other side, up here, all over the place. So again, recognizing where you may be feeling things at. Not trying to fix, just curious. Let's go ahead and twist it the other way and breathe. Knowing that just doing this practice, doing these movements, doing this breathing with the movement is going to move you through your day 1000% more than if you hadn't opened yourself up to this. Good, bring this back to center, give that a big hug. Very nice. Let's take ourselves over to the left side of the chair. I'm going to move my chair forward a little bit. Over to the left side of the chair, because we've got our supported crescent. Let's take that leg behind us. So left leg comes behind, right leg is in front, knee is bent, reaching up through this, just like if we were doing a crescent without the chair. That back heel stays lifted if that's available to you. Sometimes there are injuries, or maybe you've had surgery on a calf or a ankle joint, like joint, or an ankle ligament, and this does not work for you, just find what works for you in any of our poses that we do. If you've had different things happen, let's go and drop that right hand down and lengthen over there. If you've had specific surgeries, or if you've had things removed, or if you've had, if you've got a lot of scar tissue in certain joints, certain areas, and your body just doesn't move that way, try not to live in the frustration. Try and just be with it. Try and just be like, okay, I'm just going to go where I can go on this side. And that's all you can do. And you'll notice over time, the more you do it, it is possible. If you do have little things like that, there is a little bit of movement. There's a little bit of change. And there's a little bit of your body being like, oh, building new neural pathways of recognizing I'm okay with this. This feels good. And I can use this in this way. Over time, it doesn't happen like the next day. You're like, oh, why isn't it happening yet? Over time. Breathe it here. Inhale. Good. Bring this back to center. Let's take our right leg up onto the seat of the chair. Take our left leg off to the side. Up to you on what you're working on with your ankle. Today I'm going to work on some flexibility. So I'm going to bring my foot in like I would be if I was doing my warriors on the ground. If you're working on some mobility or some strength, maybe your toe is out. So just depending on what you feel, what feels best for you, and maybe even what feels best for your hip. But remember, whatever you do on this side, you want to do the same thing on the other side, because you don't want a hypermobile or an extra flexible or an extra strong ankle on one side and not on the other, because that will cause an injury. Let's lengthen up through this, reach up through those arms. Oh, this nice modified gate pose, reaching up through that. Let's drop that right hand back down to the side of the chair, and let's lengthen this over. This side stretch feels really good. Oh, so good. Okay. Like, I know what it is now. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and windmill that arm down and reach this over. It is. I don't think this is too much information. I think this is actual good information. The time of my cycle. I do know at times when there is more progesterone going on in your body, there is more soreness and more hyperflexibility. So you have to be very careful with how far you push yourself. So like, yes. So there are those things too. Recognizing, I was like, hi, what's going on today? That is what's going on today. Interesting. And if you're a guy watching this, then I don't know what to tell you. But ladies, even if you don't have a cycle, ladies, you still have a cycle. There's still a cycle in you. So it's still happening. Good, release that. Let's go ahead and turn this, lengthen through that. Heel is lifted and reach up through this. You may not be having the hormonal fluctuations, but your body, it did stuff for in a cycle for years and years and years and years and years and years. And of course, it's going to keep doing that because that's the way our bodies were made. To move with the earth, with the cycles of the moon. Good. Go ahead and take ourselves forward. And you're either going to be on your hands, on your elbows, or all the way forward. If you're all the way forward and you've got your hands on the floor, it's good. Or you can be using a block, or again, you're on your elbows or you're on your hands. Whatever feels best for you in this pigeon. So good. So good, so good, so good. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and bring this up. And we're going to take it into our warriors. So let's go ahead and take our right leg off to the side. It's over. Left leg is nice and strong and long. Right knee is bent. Lengthening through our arms. We've got our strong legs, strong torso, strong chest, strong neck, relaxed face. Everything else is strong here. Strong, 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 and centered. It can be really easy to think about all of that weight going over towards the front. Nope, nope, nope. If you're finding yourself doing that, then shift your mindset and think about putting all of your weight to the back. And then it'll end up getting 50-50. You'll kind of get that pendulum thing going. Let's breathe it here, inhale. And exhale it out. Drop that back arm. Take our palm up. Peaceful warrior. Reach up through that. And breathe. And exhale. Take our arm to our thigh. Reach that over. Side angle. Your bicep is kind of right there on your temple. Maybe it's touching, maybe not. If you've got some shoulder mobility stuff, it might not be touching. It might be super far away. That's okay. Listen to your body. Good, let's bring this back up and release that. Very nice. All right, scoot ourselves over to the other side, to the right. Let's take our right leg behind us. Same thing on the side that we just did on the other side. Front knee is bent. Find ourselves in this crescent. Lengthen up through that. Back heel is lifted if that's available to you. If you're finding that it's very hard to do this and you're like, it's harder with the chair, you can also bring yourself up and do your crescent like this, if that feels better, especially if you've got some impingement going on with your ankle or your calf. You can use that chair in whatever you need, however you need to use that. Good, let's drop that left hand down and let's reach this over. I really screwed that chair over far. I have to fix that. Let's lengthen through that and breathe. Good, and then let's go ahead, kind of windmill that and get that nice waist twist here. This is like the drill team move right here. Yep. And bring this back to center. I'm scooting my chair over. All right, and then let's go ahead and take that left leg up onto the side of the chair or seat of the chair. And remember, whatever you did with your ankle on the other side, try and do the same thing on the side. So I am working on that mobility, flexibility, mobility. Bring my toe in. Let's lengthen up through this nice gate pose here. Drop that down. Left hand to this chair and reach this over. And breathe. Good, let's windmill this and reach that over. Remember, whenever we windmill, we want our hand to land either on that quadricep, that hamstring, on your calf, if you're really flexible. We don't want any pressure on that knee joint. So no joint pressure here. Good, let's go ahead and release that. Let's turn this into that pigeon. Back heel again, lifted. Supported pigeon. If this doesn't work for you on the chair, you can do this on the floor. Reaching up through that. And we've got that forward fold. So folding either on those hands, on those elbows, all the way forward. And breathe. And if this is where you want to hold your breath, then remember, breathe deeper, breathe bigger. Go against what your body wants to do. Or actually what your mind wants to do. Your mind wants to kind of like, I want to make it small and invisible and I don't want to feel it. Make it bigger. Yeah. You can just feel those joints smooth out right there. Almost hollowing out. Hollowing out, just scraping out all that junk. Good, let's bring this back up. Lengthen up through that. Very nice. And then release that. Let's take that leg off to the side. We've got our warriors on this other side. Left knee is bent. Right leg is straight and strong, or lengthened and strong. Doesn't have to be straight. Let's reach out through our arms. So strong legs, strong torso, strong glutes as well. Strong chest, strong neck, face is relaxed. It can be really easy to clench that jaw or clench that forehead or tighten everything up. Relax that face, but everything else is strong here. Really reach out through that. Drop our back arm, palm up, peaceful warrior, breathe. I love doing the warriors like this here on the chair because like how I was saying, relax the face. This is what you do with your legs. Because then you get that into your brain, and when the chair isn't there, then you can get that really good proud warrior in like regular without the support. And that makes it even like stronger and harder. So, or more challenging, which is good because you can be comfortable in the more challenge because you're like, oh yes, my body should be doing this. These are the cues. Relaxing the face, everything else should be working. Okay, I can do that. I can do that without the chair. It's just harder. Yes, more challenging. Good, bring this back up. And then release that, very nice. All right, one of my favorites. Wide leg, spinal twist. If you're using blocks, we can go ahead and take those to the inside of our feet. Let's go ahead and sweep our arms up and reach our right hand down, either for the block or for your shin or for the floor, depending on your mobility. And let's open this up. That feels good. Breathe it here. And don't you find maybe the shoulders opened a little bit more since when we did this earlier? So good. And inhale and sweep this up. And then release that down, left side. Opening this up. Still tight, but not as. Yay. Breathe it here. Inhale. Taking stock. Recognizing the movement, the growth, the change just from like 50 minutes ago. Wow. Or 45 minutes ago. Huge. Good. Inhale and sweep this up. Or maybe it's not huge. Maybe it's minute, but it's still changed. It's still forward momentum, forward movement. All right, so placing our blocks where we want them. We're seated in our chair. We're going to go into our standing forward fold. Let's inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. So our seated forward fold. Let's plant our feet. Lift our glutes up off of our chair. Oh yeah. And there go our hamstrings. There go the calves. Relax that head and neck. Maybe go ahead and nod that head. Yes, that feels really good. And shake that head. No, that feels really good too. Good. Inhale, flat back. Look forward. Tabletop. Exhale and release. Take a seat back in the chair. Inhale and sweep those arms up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Take our glutes up off the chair. Standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Look forward. Exhale and release. Take a seat back in the chair. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Lift our glutes up off of the chair. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. We're going to add in a mountain breath. So staying standing. Let's inhale and sweep those arms up. Tall mountain. Jump through that tall mountain pose. Cactus our arms back. Exhale, cactus. Imagining our shoulder blades are touching, or even further, imagining we can get our elbows to touch. There's no way. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Exhale, cactus those arms. Inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Exhale, cactus our arms. Yes. And then let's release those arms. Good. Shoulders out. All right. Let's take it down for our final thing for our modified shoulder stand, our little inversion. Or you are going to sit up against a wall and have your legs up against the wall, just so that we have our little circulation change in our inversion, our legs being above our head, above our heart. It changes so many things. It's so good. So we're going to take ourselves down onto the floor, and you're either scooting yourself up against your wall or you're scooting yourself up against your chair. We're going to take our legs up onto the chair, or you're going to take your legs up against the wall. Let's, if you want it, some support for your sacrum underneath that sacrum. So underneath that low back. If you got a tattoo in the 90s, right there, that's where it should be. The block should be right underneath your low back. Okay. So we've got our pelvis lifted, and let's go and take those legs up. Yes. And if you're like, this is my jam today, I need more of this, then do more of this. This is such a safe move. This is such a safe thing. Like, so if you're like, I can't do headstand and I can't do other things like that, you can do this. It gets that same, you're getting that inversion, you're getting that circulation change, you're getting that it's so good for the blood, it's so good for the body. So if you're like, I'm loving this, then you can do this as much as you need to. This is a very safe pose to do. It can be very helpful. You can do it in multiple ways. You could be moving, you could be pointing and flexing the feet, you could be still. And make it even easier having your legs supported up against the wall. Oh my goodness, you could be there for like a whole podcast. Go ahead and take those legs out if you want, or bring them in. You could be working on flexibility, so you can let gravity do some work here. Just anything during this. Oh, so good. I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, this is feeling really good. Like when I've got later on today, I'm like, I need to do some inversion stuff. I need to do my legs up in the air again. Or even like this chair that I have, it's actually an actual yoga chair. And so it has a piece that attaches to it to where I can turn myself upside down on the chair, like supported by the chair. It's pretty cool. So that might be an option for today, later on. Oh, we just got those legs lifted. Let's go ahead and release one leg, release the other leg. Let's take our right ankle, place it onto our left thigh. Press that inner thigh away with that right hand. We're not pressing against the knee, we're pressing against that inner thigh. You can even, there's a very tight ligament on the inner thigh that attaches to that knee that you're like, you could press against that too, and you get that really comfortably uncomfortable, like nice, bad pain. But it's not really pain, it's just uncomfortable. Good, release that and release. Let's take that left ankle to that right thigh, and same thing on this side. It's a pressure point right there on that inner thigh. There's a ligament here. Oh, goodness. If you've ever foam rolled, this is one of those places, this, and then on the outside, where it's just like you kind of want to throw up. It's a pressure point. Feels really good. And then release that. Very nice. All right. You can move that block out from underneath you. That should get away from you. At what you need for fun or relaxation, because that's where we're going. So if you're using an eye pillow, a regular pillow, some blankets, whatever you are using, grab that. If you are using an eye pillow, you can go ahead and put that over your eyes now, and you can enjoy the heaviness and the darkness from that eye pillow. Maybe yours is scented. Mine are lavender scented, so there's a slight scent of lavender, not very overwhelming, kind of nice. I don't have mine today, it's up there still, but we're lengthening through that, imagining that you're adding an inch. No, let's add 3 inches today. Let's add 3 inches to our height. So somebody's really pulling at your arms, trying to get them out of their sockets, and then somebody else is really pulling at your legs, trying to get them out of their sockets. Really reach that, and that will help with your torso lengthening as well. Let's breathe it here. Inhale it deeply. And big exhale, sink. Settle. Let those feet fall open. Arms open. Relax that face. Release that jaw. I find that when I have my eye pillow on, it's super helpful in releasing that jaw even more. I don't know if it's just because I don't have to focus on anything else, or maybe just the tiny bit of pressure that adds. And that can feel really good. Just a few moments to quiet everything, to kind of knit all the work you just did together, or kind of smooth everything out and be like, oh yeah. And maybe this is the time to recognize where there might still be some places in your body that you're still feeling some heat or some pain, or maybe there's some anxiety or some other mental stuff going on. Just recognizing those things. No fixing, just awareness. An awareness that the breath can help you process and move those things through you. You can face it. You can do this. Let's bend at those knees. Maybe you're able to flatten your spine against the floor. But if you have some spinal stuff going on, or if you've got lordosis, if your body naturally doesn't go that way, then no worries. And let's drop both of our knees over to our most comfortable side. And, oh, that's good. Take yourself onto your side. A breath or two here in this very primal position. This fetal position. And then pressing ourselves up. Let's lift ourselves up, bring ourselves up into a seated pose that feels good for you, strong for you. I love sitting, kneeling, because I love that stretch on the front of my feet. This feels really good on the front of the feet, on the ankles, and on those quads. Sit ourselves up tall. Let's inhale and sweep this up. Bring our palms together. Let's exhale, eyes following our fingers. Take our chin to our chest. Let's lift that head center. Take our fingers to forehead. As we leave today, let us think thoughts of truth. Take our fingers to our lips. As we leave today and speak with others, let us speak words of love. Take our hands to our hearts. As we leave today, let our lives be a light of truth and a light of love, having hearts of compassion and mercy, knowing that we have not been given a spirit of fear, but the spirit of love and a sound and peaceful mind. Inhaling deeply. And a big cleansing exhale. And one more time, big deep inhale. And big cleansing exhale. And thank you for joining me in the practice today. Have a blessed rest of your day. And I loved that both of you were there today. All right.